for your patience. Let me just let one more guy in here. Rowan is in. Apologies, guys, for the late start. The guys were just coming off the field. Appreciate your patience. As mentioned, we've got Ricardo Loubscher as well as Morne van den Berg. Um, we'll give it about 10 to 12 minutes for this session, guys. I know we are running late, so if we can quicken up by raising hands. Carl, I see your hand is up already. So you've got the first one for the afternoon, followed by Morgan.
Thanks, Nianisu. Ricardo, everything has been said, and a lot of people haven't qualified for the Investec Champions Cup and everything. But I think for South Africans, the biggest bragging rights is winning the South African Cup at this stage. I mean, that could be said it's the Currie Cup for your professional guys.
Yeah.
How big is it for you teams to win the South African Cup or South African round or pool?
Yeah, I think it's important, and I think with that obviously comes the, you don't want to say bragging rights, but I think that's important from within in our camp, within the squad. I just think the advantage you have with that, the momentum you have with that, and I think it's really important for us if we have the opportunity to achieve that, it will be brilliant. But I think this week is all about just making sure we focus on ourselves. Make sure we get our processes right, and yeah, hopefully we can improve on last week's performance.
And for the players?
Yeah, I think Morne is probably the best guy to answer that.
Yeah, I think it's massive for us as players. It's fellow South Africans, it's guys that you know very well and that you play a lot against, and it is personal. So yeah, it's where it's the games that you want to play in, it's the games that you want to do good in, and yeah, it's I think exciting for the public as well. So yeah, it's very exciting to play a local derby.
I'm glad you said it's personal. So can we expect a little bit of him?
Sorry, will you just say it again, please? Sorry, will you just repeat it? Sorry.
I said, I'm glad you said it's personal. So can we expect a little bit of it on the field?
Sorry, we can't hear that
Yeah,
word.
I think the sound quality is not great. Yeah,
sorry. But just what I think you're asking, yes, definitely. You are definitely going to see a bit of extra energy, bit of extra collisions, bigger collisions. Yeah, we're definitely going to be up for it.
And I am there, so I hope we can walk away with a win.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Carl. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thanks,
Morgan?
Carl.
Morgs? Okay, we'll come back to Morgan once he's unmuted. Ross, you up?
The guys?
Yes, Ross, go ahead.
Ricardo, what would you say, you know, how different a week makes? I know after last weekend, well, not this past weekend, the previous one, you guys got back. There was a lot of disappointment, a lot of harsh words. A week later, it must be a much better feel-good feeling in the group and, you know, a much better look now ahead after a really good win.
100%. Looking back now, I'm talking to or referring to the Montpellier game. We were not happy with the performance. Yeah, and rightly so. We had a lot of time to prep for that game. And yeah, last week, they say in rugby a week is a long time. So we had basically 2 days to prep. But I think credit to the players. They responded well. We demanded a lot in terms of executing our plan and our training standards. And yeah, I think it worked out nicely for us against the Dragons. And yeah, we still feel there's lots of room to improve. This week, making sure that we put a lot of emphasis on our processes, small detail, and yeah, and just having the right mindset going into the game.
And how much have you taken learnings from last season's games against the Bulls? You know, you guys put in a really good performance in Pretoria, and it was a long distance kick away from winning. And then you returned to Ellis Park, and unfortunately, it was a not as good a performance, and you allowed them to run away with it. So, what have you sort of taken out of that, going into this one?
Yeah, I think the disappointment was probably one decision that I'm talking about the game at Loftus that came down to one decision, and yeah, and the ref made a decision on the day. Then obviously the game at home, we didn't play according to our potential. A lot of individual errors. We allowed them back into the game, and yeah, I think the disappointment was we didn't play our way. We couldn't execute our way of play. So hopefully this week there will be a lot of emphasis on focus on what we need to do as a team versus adapting all the time and making sure that we're not playing according to the way the Bulls want us to play.
And Crappie, for the players, how special is the Highveld derby, and how much does it sort of fuel you guys? You know, does anything really need to be said by the coaches going into a game like this? Or is this just one game that doesn't matter what type of form you guys in, what type of feeling is there, you guys are just up for this one?
Yeah, yes. Coaches doesn't have to say anything. Like you mentioned, the game on Ellis Park last year, and it's been a while since we can correct that the performance, not necessarily the result, but how we played that day. So the boys are definitely up. We've taken good learnings, and we know what to expect. We are planning. I feel the very well. And yeah, there's nothing that needs to be said. It's really, like I said earlier, it's special to be a part of this game. And yeah, it's a game that we want to win.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Ross. Morgan, do you want to have another go? I'll ask you a question later if you can't unmute. But if there are any other questions, please, guys, let me know. Walter?
My question is just for Ricardo. Just wanted to get an update. Sam Francis left the field injured on Saturday. Has he recovered from the injury?
Yeah, Sam is good to go. So the doctor gave us some good news today. So yeah, I didn't feel so well after the game, and but yeah, he just joined us today. So we're excited about just giving him another opportunity, and I think he's also really looking forward to it, and I'll be happy with his performance against the Dragons. And yeah, hopefully he can put in another good performance for us on the weekend.
And just, I did ask this on Saturday after the game, but I just wanted to get another update, if possible, on the other three players, Koma, Kriel, and Voliter, I think.
Yeah, it's Kate and Richard, and who's the third one?
Sibabalo Koma.
Siba Poma.
Yeah, no, Siba's he joined us, but he's still not selectable. Richard is up for selection, and yeah, Kate is also up for selection. So they trained well today. We got one more day tomorrow, and yeah, just to finalize our team, finalize our prep. But yeah, we're excited about having those two guys back, and we feel as coaches and the rest of the team, we feel they can make a difference if selected.
Okay, and then my last question. The Lions have traditionally struggled a little bit against the local South African teams. So what are you guys trying to do to put that record right against the other South African teams?
I think firstly, don't make it's a big occasion already just to play in a derby. So we try not to make a big thing out of it. Yeah, I can sit here and say it's a normal game. It's definitely not a normal game. It's always personal. Yeah, but we try to, our chat is not to make a big thing out of it. Then secondly, just to focus on what we're doing well. Yeah, the Bulls will bring different strengths, but if we play according to our way, our style, yeah, I think we'll give ourselves an opportunity, and hopefully we can throw punches on Saturday.
Thanks.
Thanks, Walter. Ross, is your hand still up, or is that an existing one?
New hand, Johnny, so thanks.
Go for it, Ross.
Ricardo, how do you guys sort of approach this next couple of months? It's a bit of obviously a strange run of games in how you play a game, then you have a week or two off, then another game, then a couple of games. I think you only sort of get into a nice flow when you guys tour again. Then you got 3 or 4 games in a row if you get to the Challenge Cup quarters.
Yes.
And obviously with the Six Nations, so that's why it's been broken up. So how do you approach trying to get the guys into a good run, and also considering that your next 5 straight games are all local derbies?
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's definitely a stop-start for us, and ideally you would like to play week in and week out. We feel as coaches, the more we play together as a team, the better we perform. So that is in itself is a bit of a challenge, but I think we can only control what we can control, and it's basically to make sure that we train well, we prepare well, get our mindsets ready, get our processes right, and hopefully we can put in a good performance on Saturday. We can build on that momentum, and hopefully within the next so many weeks we can do the same.
And did you feel that against the Dragons, you guys sort of were back to playing, your way again? And obviously against the Bulls, it'll be a bit more difficult to impose yourselves like that. But do you think that you guys have what it takes to, force that kind of game on them again?
Yeah, I think the going back to the Dragons, we had a big discussion as coaches that we felt that last couple of games we went away from that, and some of the learnings from the Stormers game, the Montpellier game, is that we need to play to our strengths to give ourselves a chance. And I think on Saturday, yeah, it will be tough. It's always tough, and I think if you look at the games we played against the Bulls in the past, it's always physical. It's tough. It's a set piece dominated. It's a kicking game there's a massive emphasis on the kicking game. Hopefully we can give ourselves a chance on Saturday and play according to our way, our style.
And Kroppie, do you personally enjoy playing against the South African franchises in that, especially after you made your Springbok debut last season, and looking ahead, these are sort of the guys you need to match yourself up against in terms of fighting for those spots coming towards the international season mid-year?
Yeah, yes. I love playing local franchises. Personally, I love the physical challenge. I pride myself on matching that physicality, if not raising it. And then, yeah, obviously, you play against guys that I played there at the box with and competing maybe. But yeah, I think that should really be a side thought. The most important thing this weekend is to represent the Lions and to represent the Lions well. To really put the Lions DNA on Saturday's game, and to hopefully walk away with a win.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, guys, and good luck.
Thanks, Ross.
Thank you, Ross. Morgan, do you want to take another stab at it?
Yeah, this time I can do.
There
Thanks,
we go.
Sammy.
Perfect.
How's it,
Yeah.
Ricardo? How's it,
How's
Kroppie?
it going?
Hey, Morgan.
Kroppie, if I can just go to you guys, have largely answered what I was wanting to ask. But the fact that you guys had a lean run of late in the UFC, how much confidence have you taken out of this, just qualifying for the Champions Cup? Because the Bulls, no doubt, will be quite confident as well going into Derby after they snap their streak. So does that add a bit of extra spice to the Yuxco Derby on the weekend?
Yeah, yes. Personally, I think, I don't think there can be extra spice for me. I think if I have it right, we can get each other in the quarterfinal of the EPCR. But I think that's in April or whenever that is. I think this weekend we both need. I think it's a big game for the URC in terms of how the things are playing out. So yeah, at this stage the focus is 100% just on this weekend and to perform well. I've been mentioning winning, but yeah, I think as a group, we really want to put a performance that we can be proud of, that our fans can be proud of, and that can say, listen, that's a Lions team. So yeah, adding spice, yeah, I don't think there's anything that can add spice at this stage.
Thanks, guys. All the best on the weekend.
Thanks, Morgan. Colleagues, I think we'll leave it there for the afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. And again, apologies for the late start. Coach Ricky, all the best, Scrappy. All the best with prep and all the best for Saturday.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Thanks,
guys.
guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Tot ziens.
Cheers, cheers.
Thanks, bye.
Awesome.